Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, so I'm back again, and this time I'm playtesting the Zoro deck I showed you guys. So the leader is Zoro. You know, you do one, and then everybody, or one down, everybody gets plus 1,000. So I'm going against the same opponent here, Foreign Racks, and I'm testing it out to see how it goes. So I drop with the Nami I have here that I pulled from the packs, and okay, like I feel more confident in this deck because it's a lot less. As at this point in time, I'm still trying to get used to the gameplay mechanics and the thought process in the game. It's a lot more straightforward than anything else. You know, I just need to attack, rush. So it feels good. So as you see that I got my Zoro that I pulled from the pack. And with this Zoro here, you know, he has rush. I have the Sanji with 2. Put 2 down on Sanji. He can rush as well. And I believe I have the Brook there for... Why did I put Brook down? Probably should have kept him. No, that was to give the 2 rested Don to Sanji. So I thought that was a pretty solid strategy. As you can see there, he's already down to 2 Don from the original 5. I mean, not Don, excuse me, Life from the original 5. So I'm feeling good about that. You know, Zoro's rested. So that's one of the things I have to work on with this deck as well, or just in general when I play, is remembering that once I attack, you know, I leave my my character vulnerable if I don't have any blockers or enough counters. But I'm like, if I just keep pushing through, you know, like say he knocks out Zoro, I just bring somebody else out that has rush. Because I feel like is the really good part about this deck is just because he KOs a character, you know, one turn, I don't need to wait a couple turns to fix it. But now I will say this is my biggest mistake. So this is where I whiffed big time. I brought those 2 Otahimes out, and I brought both of those ladies out in order to knock down his character, you know, by 2,000 a pop. So knock down 4,000 total. And I was going to use the round table to knock his leader down negative 10,000. So my plan was to just swing in heavy and just yank up the rest of his cards, his life cards, just one swoop. But I misread the round table, and it just said, you know, character, and I kept forgetting the character and leader are 2 separate things. So when I did it, I did the negative 4,000 to his character like I wanted, but I should have kept the round table for later, or just use the round table to knock down Boa. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know, once I realized, I was like, no. He gave me the option to take it back and everything, but I was like, no, you know, I played it, this is how I wanted to go. I'm going to take my L, you know, it is what it is. So now I'm in a position here, I'm in a little tight position here now where I have these 2 weaklings sitting up there taking up the board space. And another thing I keep forgetting is that I can, when my board's full, I can just throw them into the discard pile and go from there. So they were just kind of taking up space for no reason at that point. So I don't have anything to return them back to my hand, nothing to bounce them back. And he definitely wasn't going to do it for me since there are 2,000 on encounter. So I'm like, all right, well, yeesh, what can I do? So of course I bring out the Luffy again. I think at this point I only had 2 Luffys in there, but I ended up adding, I think, 2 more later on after talking to somebody else. So just the 2 Luffys, but I got this one pretty early. Feeling good about it. You know, I'm just using Nami to attack the Boa, trying to think a little differently. You know, instead of using my biggest characters to take out the biggest creatures, trying to use some of my weaker ones to do some damage. So now I'm using Luffy there to attack, and I have to force him to use the blocker. And you know, I'm like, okay, cool. It's kind of working. I still feel like I'm in a power seat here. I didn't give up too much, but he knocks out with his Mihawk, knocks out my Luffy. So I'm like, okay, well, I kind of needed that guy, but he's gone. Brook's still there. I haven't put any work in with Brook recently. He's just kind of just there. So I'm like, all right, what can I do now? I bring out Otama, so she adds, or Uta, she adds, you know, 1 red back to my hand. So I'm like, all right, I got Zoro. Bring Zoro back out with his rush, and see if he can take down his mentor or his sensei in a battle and try and just duke something out here. It's again, it's pretty tight, but he's down to 1 life, and I'm sitting on 3 or 4, it looks like. So I'm still feeling pretty good about it. I feel like I'm in a pretty strong position, forcing him to block. You know, just trying to force him to play the game I want him to play, trying to rush in, just be aggressive as possible, and always kind of keep him on the back foot. I feel like that's what this deck is made for, or is designed around. That's one thing I think is pretty cool about the One Piece game at the moment. is if you have a certain color, your deck is pretty much a theme already built into it, opposed to with Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, in the original game when I played it, it was you built your deck and you made your own theme. And now, of course, now in the more modern Yu-Gi-Oh, there's just theme decks. So if you just have Blue Eyes White Dragon, there's like a million cards to support that. But I'm like, okay, this is feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I'm just looking at his life. I'm like, I think I can take this. I know I can get this. I just need to just get one more hit. And he knows that too, or two more hits, but he knows it too. He knows it's close. And every turn he has to worry about a rush. I think it's the huge benefit, obviously, of rush is it comes out the same turn. So your opponent's kind of sitting there thinking, oh no, I'm not going to have to worry about anything. They have to put down a character and wait a turn for it to come out. But that's not the case. You know, rush just straight in there. And I'm just going for it. You know what I mean? I'm just going for it, trying to get him to use up blockers, use up whatever it can. He takes the hit. He's down to no life, and I'm down to 4 life now, so I'm still good. I'm feeling good. I'm like, all right, I got to be able to get past this at some point in time. Now, both my Luffy's are in the grave, so I'm like, maybe if I can get Shanks, he can rush in and do some damage maybe. But I'm just like, all right, well, he's knocking my stuff down, but I'm still confident because I know I have my leader there, and I'm just like, what? This is about to go down. And off my life, I pull Jambe, I think it's called, where if I attach it to my leader, there's no blocking. You know what I mean? He can't block anything, and I just give Zoro everything 9 Don. I'm like in for the hit, and it works out in my favor.